Hey everyone, it's Rachel doing a video that probably none of you care about except for me. Woohoo! Today is a day that I have been waiting for a long time. Is the day I'm ranking my Anne books. If you don't know, Anne of Green Gables is not a solo novel. It is a series. There are 8 regular books and then there are a lot of spin-offs. Some of them I haven't even read yet. But I've read one of them, so that one will be included in this 9 part list. I probably should have just read one more to make it 10, but hindsight, right? So we're gonna go ahead and rank them, and I'm so excited. My main goal for this video is to get more people to read these books, including some guys out there. These are not just romance, these are just good, wholesome family books, okay? It's not all about romance, it's about family, and I love that so much. And it is about found family, which is so important. So let me go ahead and start off. Again, like I said, it's number 9, but let me, before I start with number 9, emphasize to you, number 9 is still an amazing book. All of them are amazing. There are no bad books in the Anne series. So ranking it is kind of hilarious because there really is no bad book in the Anne series, okay? Alright, let's get started with number 9, which might surprise you, and it surprises me because it used to be my favorite. The thing about the Anne series is that I just realized they're all going to be backwards. I'm sorry, but there's a pretty cover with a girl. Look, it's Anne. Anyway, all the series is through Anne's life, so my favorite has changed over the years according to what phase of life I'm in. So this one is Anne of the Island, and it's Anne at college. So this used to be my favorite book. When I was in college, it was my favorite, and I listened to it over and over and over again, and it got me over some stuff that I was going through. So it's very special to me, and it is the bottom of those lists, so that should tell you a lot. Yeah, so this one is her college years, her love troubles. So this one's probably the most lovey-dovey. Her deciding what's the difference between friendship and love, and her going after the wrong guy and learning from that, and then ending up with the right guy. So this one is probably the only one that's like mostly romance, but it's also fun for any college student. If you're in college out there, this is a fun read just to like figure out what's different between college back then and now and that kind of thing. It's just really a fun read even if you're not that much into romance. Alright, next is the one that's kind of always been the bottom for me, which is interesting because I'm a teacher. So this is book 2, Anne of Avonlea. This is when she's being a teacher. So back in the day, you went to normal school and then you could go to high school, and high school was like optional. And in high school, you could get your teaching license, and then college was like above that. So it was kind of like backwards to what it is today. And I have thoughts on that, but it's not for this video as a teacher. But this is Anne as from 16 to 18, and it's like two or 3 years. I can't remember how many years she taught. I think just 2. So it is like a shorter time period, and it is her teaching and kind of growing up. So if you're a not college kind of girl, this one might be for you. It's her growing up a little bit. But yeah, she's still a teenager and she does some annoying things. So this one has always been on the bottom for me. So now it's second to last. Alright, next, might surprise some people. Next is Rainbow Valley. Rainbow Valley is when it's Anne's children and the pastor's children. It's very, very sweet and fun. I feel like it would be higher on this list if Anne's children were the main characters, because I love Anne's children so much. But it's the pastor's children that are more the central characters. So it is kind of surprising. Most people like my next one better, so most people would switch this one and the next one of mine, because the next one is more Anne's children are the main characters. But this one is great still. I love the pastor's children so much, even though they're the Merediths. The Merediths are the main characters. And it has really good setup for my favorite book. So this is a really, really great one. This is the second to last one, 7. I feel like I should tell you the rank, but also, like, oh, it's actually number 7. That's funny. The rank is 7, and this is book number 7. All right. Next is the one that I said most people would flip these and put this one lower, but this one is very special to me. Like I said, you kind of follow through Anne's life, so whenever I'm in a part of Anne's life that she's in, it's like special. So this one is about Anne's children and Anne's marriage. So that's special to me because I'm married. So if you didn't know, I'm married. And so this one is really special. She has kiddos and she's an amazing mom, but we already knew she would be an amazing mom. If you read the first book, she like was mothering before she was an adult herself. She was like a child taking care of children. So this one is very, very special to me. And it has like the best villain out of all of them. They don't really have villains, but this one has like the best villain of all the books. So yeah, I love the pictures too. They're like collecting daisies. It's so sweet. All right, next one, I am on number 5. So top 5 here already is Chronicles of Avonlea. I bought this very pretty cover without knowing if I would like it, but I do not regret this decision. This is number 5 out of 9. It is so wonderful and I love it so much, and I cried like a baby in one of these. So they're like different stories, and I like sobbed during one of them because it was so beautiful. So I feel like this collection of short stories is just perfect. I feel like when I have kids, I want to like read my kids these just as like a bedtime story. Some of them are so much fun and some of them are like so touching. And yeah, this one's just really special to me, and this cover is gorgeous and I do not regret this purchase. This purchase is awesome. I do have the Further Chronicles of Avonlea, but I haven't read it yet because the copy that I bought, the writing is too small and it gives me a headache. So I'm probably going to purchase it on Kindle and read it that way, and so I don't have to buy another copy of it. But yeah, they made the print too small for that copy, and so I can't read it. And then the next one is number 4. Number 4 is the original. When she's a girl, she gets adopted, which is very special to my heart if you don't know. And she gets adopted by a wonderful family and learns to be a person in normal society, which she's never been. And it's just so beautiful and I love it so much. And I forget how much I love it. And then I reread it, and you can see the cover is like all cracked. I reread it and then I realize how amazing it is. There are so many quotes in this book. I don't know if you'll be able to see, probably not, but there's like underlining all throughout this. You can't really see it, but there's underlines like all over the book. So yeah, I've underlined it, I've quoted it, I've printed it on other papers. These are amazing quotes. This is just a fabulous book. There's a reason it's a classic. I just wish people didn't just look at it as a classic. So I do have a little bit of a resentment for this book because a lot of people just know this book and they don't know how great the sequels are. As you'll see, because my top 3 are all later in the series. My top 3 is number 4, Winley Poplars. This one, I feel like it's not as loved by the community. This one is when they're engaged. She's engaged to her future husband, and she's off teaching, and they're like far away, and it's a epistolary novel, which means that there's all letters in it. So, let me see if I can show you. Goodness, here. It's like a letter with like the Winley Poplars. Sorry, it's backwards. I know it's backwards, sorry. So it is a really, really fun novel. There's some fun things that happen, and it's just really sweet. All of her like little good nights to her fiance is just like so sweet. I'm not saying his name just in case, like, that's a spoiler. I feel like it shouldn't be. If you've read the first one, you know who she marries. But, yeah, this is a great one. My number 2 is, again, because of where I am in life, is Anne's House of Dreams. This is her young married life before kids. Her first son gets born, and she goes through a lot of early marriage trials, just like all other married people. And it has one of my favorite side characters of all in Leslie. So this one has a lot of emotion, a lot of talk about trauma, a lot of Anne being hit that, yeah, she had a hard childhood, but her life is still very privileged that she didn't realize. And it also has an amazing, like, beach setting that I adore because my family's from the shore. So, yeah, this one's just really, really special. Anne's House of Dreams is my number 2. And so if you have process of elimination and you know the series, you know exactly what my number 1 is. Honestly, you should probably already know this because I think I've talked about it in top 10s. It is one of my favorite books of all times. Rilla of Ingleside is about Anne's daughter going through World War I, and that's how the series ends, in World War I. So it starts probably 30 years prior to World War I, and then this book, Anne's like 40 something, 45, and her daughter is just becoming a woman right as World War I is happening, and all of her brothers and her sweetheart go off to war, and she has to deal with being at home without the boys present, and how hard it was from the wives' perspective, from the girls' daughters' sisters, mother's perspective of how hard a war is, not just for people in the war, but for the people left behind at war. And it's just a beautiful historical fiction that you never think about. You never think about the people who are back home. There's like a little paragraph in your textbook that talks about what the women were doing at the time, but this is an entire story about it, and it's just so amazing how much strength they had to have. And I just really admire this author for being able to tie all those emotions and that, like, dread just, like, carries through the book. And it's just really amazing. And this has one of the most amazing character arcs. I won't tell you whose character arc it is, but one of the most amazing character arcs in the entire series. And it's a series of character arcs. So the whole series is a character arc. It's all Anne's life and everyone around her maturing. But this book has the most beautiful character arc of almost any book I've ever read. I'll have to think about that one. But yeah, this character arc is beautiful. So here's my plug right now. If you haven't read these, please read these. They're so amazing. They're probably pretty cheap because they're old, and the writing's not too bad. It's pretty, like, decently lower level. There's some vocabulary that you might not know because they're older, but it's really not that bad. Amazing stories. I just love them so much. I can never plug these books enough. They're just great. Like, again, pretty much my favorite book of all time. Not quite, but, like, it's up there. I forget what I ranked it, like 2nd or 3rd, I think, in my top 10 ranking. So that is it for the Anne series. Please, please, please read these books. They are so amazing if you've never read them before. Yeah, I think that's it. Let me know in the comment how many of these you've read. Please just don't tell me you've just read the first one and you didn't even know this was a series. That's like the worst ever. And tell me below which one you might be interested in reading. Oh, they can also be read out of order. You don't need to read them in order. So just pick one up randomly. Pick up the last one. Pick up this one. This one's great. You don't need to read any of the others. All right. Yeah, I hope y'all have a great day.